Choosing the best investment can occasionally feel like you're wrestling with a mattress full of treacle. So many choices, so many promises, so much risk. And you can understand why people go for the safe and the solid option. ISAs, building society accounts, premium bonds. Safe, steady, low returns. But if you want risk, there are plenty of alternative investments. Everything from palm oil and carbon credits, bits of rainforests in Borneo, to overseas property and foreign exchange. Trouble is, the risks stack up to shoulder height, and we've all heard the horror stories. But if you're one of those investors who wants to nail down the risk, but get a decent return, you need to think about mainstream property investment. You need to think about commercial property, which is what every hedge fund throughout the world has been doing for years and years and years. But the trouble with commercial property is it usually has a very high entry cost. Well, if you want a low entry cost, a decent return, and very, very little risk, you need to think about StoreFirst. Investing in StoreFirst's commercial property package minimizes risk and maximizes return. You're investing in industry-leading, state-of-the-art individual storage units that are tapping into the growing trend for domestic self-storage and business storage units. They're springing up all over the UK and offer cheap storage facilities for families and inexpensive bases for everything from start-up businesses to British Gas. But the most important thing to remember is when you invest in a StoreFirst self-storage unit, you get a title deed from the land registry, a legally binding document that proves it's yours, and it's yours for as long as you want it to be. And your unit will be in a purpose-built centre that's completed. You can visit it, you can touch it, it's bricks and mortar, so there's none of that heart-sinking uncertainty so common among off-plan investors. StoreFirst will keep it rented with a tenant and manage it for you, providing hands-off investment with a guaranteed return. So let's just think about numbers for a minute. You've got a guaranteed 8% return per annum over 2 years, that's 16%. Then you add in your 25% uplift in the value of your commercial property, and that's supported by 2 independent Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, and you've got a figure of 41%. Now, 41% over 2 years return, call me old-fashioned, but that's not bad. And if your circumstances suddenly change, and let's be frank, they do, StoreFirst will buy back your unit at what you paid, so you have a risk-free exit strategy. It's also worth saying that historically, StoreFirst storage units have outperformed the UK average length of tenancy, and they have rented 18,500 units and returned that 8% on every single one of them. So don't just take my word for it. Talk to your IFA. Go on the StoreFirst website, listen to the testimonials from long-term investors. Get a copy of the Deloitte Self-Storage Association annual survey. Barclays Bank have done a survey and mentioned StoreFirst very favourably. And of course, StoreFirst has a due diligence report, which you've got to read as well. But the most important thing you should do is actually go to a StoreFirst centre and watch it trade. This is the beauty of this investment. It's not remote, it's not distant. You can touch it, you can feel it, you can watch it work. And once you do that, and here's another promise, I guarantee you will be very impressed indeed. For more information, go to www.s1.co.uk.